Hi everybody, welcome to Tech Tip Friday. I'm your host Kurt Staley, that plastics guy, bringing you a tech tip that you could take to the shop floor right away. So in the past few episodes I've talked a little bit about black masterbatch and mineral filled masterbatches, and the last of the, we'll call them commodity masterbatches, is white. And what is white pigment? TiO2, titanium dioxide. This particular pigment can be processed in a number of different ways, from a coarser version to a finer version, and from a, we'll call it an off-white almost, to a super bright pure white. And wherever you are on that spectrum of coarse, fine, not quite so white, super white, will dictate generally where you're going to put it into a certain process, if it's injection molding or if it's film and packaging. And it will certainly dictate the cost of your master batch. So if you have a coarser, and this is all relative, but if you have a coarser TiO2 and more variation in that coarseness, that's definitely going to be more suitable to injection molding because it's a more forgiving process. When you move to film blowing, even film casting, they're just much more delicate processes, and you cannot have large chunks of TiO2 or carbon black for that matter going through your process. You'll see it on the surface of the film, specifically on a very thin gauge of film. Thicker the film, yes, it might cover up some of these deficiencies or variance in particle size, but typically film, you want higher grade products. That will dictate a higher cost as well. Now, the variation from a bright white to, say, more of a slightly off-white, that is going to be application dependent, but you can bet that the brighter the white, the more costly it's going to be. So this really comes down to understanding what your process is, and hopefully you'll understand the difference between injection molding and film, if you've worked at a plant for more than 5 minutes. But understanding the process, also understanding what your customer, the end user, will accept. And if they can accept not that absolutely perfect bright white, you can get away with something a little bit less, well, you can order that, save the money, and be a little bit more competitive in the long run. So just remember, there are differences in commodity whites. They are not all created equal, just as black masterbatch is not all created equal. And that is a tech tip that you could take with you today right to the shop floor. We will talk to you next week. We'll have a couple more Tech Tip Fridays before we break for the 2024 holidays, which I'm excited. It's been a long year. A lot of good stuff happening, more to come, but I could definitely use a little break too. So we'll talk to you next week, and until then, take care and bye for now.